Hey everyone, big congrats on the new place. Moving is such a huge undertaking.
Yeah.
So much to do. Unpacking, getting everything set up. But while you're busy turning that new house into a home, have you thought about the water?
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
something we gotta take for granted, right?
Yeah.
Today we're taking a deep dive into chapters 1 through 3 of the Enagic Story ebook.
Right.
And they really make a case for why we should all be paying a bit more attention to, well, what's coming out of our faucets?
Yeah. It's funny. The ebook starts off, well, it's almost poetic about the journey of water. It paints this picture of water going from its source and all the way through treatment plants, winding through all those pipes. And, along the way, it's picking up things we probably don't want in our homes.
Yeah, chapter 1 had this line, beneath its clear facade, our water conceals a complex story.
It's true.
It really makes you think about something we usually don't. But then it takes a turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
The ebook starts talking about unseen adversaries hiding in our water.
Oh, yeah. And they don't hold back. They come right out and say it. Lead, mercury, chlorine byproducts.
Yikes.
It's enough to make you think twice. But I think the important thing here is they're not just trying to, scare us with all these terms.
Right.
They really break down why these things are actually a cause for concern, like chlorine byproducts, for example.
Okay, yeah, can we talk about that for a second? I think a lot of people, when they hear chlorine, they think swimming pools.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So what are these byproducts all about?
Okay, so chlorine itself is often used to disinfect water, which of course is a good thing. But the thing is, when chlorine reacts with any organic matter in the water, it can create these byproducts, and these byproducts are linked to, well, some health concerns. We're talking about things like trihalomethanes or haloacetic acids.
Gryala what now?
Yeah, exactly. Not exactly everyday words, but they're worth knowing.
So, hold on. Even though chlorine's there to make our water safe in one way, it could be creating problems in another.
Yeah, it's kind of like a trade-off, right? And
Oh.
that's what the ebook is getting at. They talk about, connecting these byproducts to skin problems, which, well, we've all had those, right?
Yeah.
But then they start mentioning like digestive issues,
Yeah.
even a potential link to certain cancers. It's pretty serious stuff.
Whoa. Okay. That's a lot to think about. But then they introduce Alex and Jordan, and they're moving into their dream home, just like, well, all our listeners who are settling in.
Yeah, and this is where their strategy is pretty clear. They're trying to make a personal connection with the reader.
Okay.
They present this couple, right? Alex and Jordan, relatable, excited about their new place, only to find out that, well, their perfect-looking water might be causing some health issues. So it makes us think, hey, that could be me.
It's smart. I'll give it that. So Alex and Jordan, they're dealing with these weird health problems, and they finally figure out, okay, it's the water. So what do? Do they just give up and live with bad water?
No, of course not. The ebook comes in with the solution. The Anespa Shower Filtration System. They make it sound amazing, like this high-tech, almost spa experience for your shower. And it gets rid of those water worries. They talk about this dual cartridge system and these natural mineral stones to filter out the contaminants and even like enrich the water.
Sounds fancy.
Yeah.
But can we break that down?
Sure.
What's a dual cartridge system? And these mineral stones, is that just marketing or is there something real behind it?
Okay, so a dual cartridge system basically means you have two levels of filtration, like double the protection. The first cartridge targets the larger particles, like sediment and maybe some chlorine. And then the second cartridge is where those mineral stones come in.
So they actually do something.
Yeah.
They're not just there to look pretty.
Right. Different minerals have different properties, right? So some of these mineral stones, they're known to absorb, let's say, heavy metals. Others might neutralize the pH of the water.
No.
And the ebook, they talk about it being like a natural hot springs experience. And there's some truth to that. Hot springs are, well, they're full of minerals. And some people think that, well, those minerals actually have therapeutic benefits.
Okay, interesting. But are they maybe overselling it just a little bit?
Maybe.
I mean, minerals are good, but are they that good?
Well, while those minerals can play a part in filtering water and maybe add some good stuff to the water, the science behind it, well, it isn't always super clear-cut. The ebook, of course, focuses on the positives, right? Talking about softer skin, healthier hair, a more invigorating shower experience. And they do say that the Anespa system is certified by the Water Quality Association, so that's something.
Okay, so they're not just making stuff up. It's based on science.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they're selling us something.
Oh, No, absolutely. And we should always remember that. I mean, whenever we're talking about marketing materials, it's good to, look at it with a little bit of a critical eye.
Right.
The key takeaway here isn't to just run out and get an Anespa system, but more to understand that, hey, there are options if you're concerned about your shower water quality.
Okay, I see.
And the ebook does a pretty good job of raising awareness about that.
That's true. I mean, we're all getting more aware of what we put in our bodies, the food we eat, the air we breathe. It makes sense that we'd start paying more attention to the water we use, too. But they don't stop at shower water.
No, not at all.
They take things a step further. In Chapter 4, they talk about another product, the Leveluk K8 Kangen Water machine.
Exactly. So they shift their focus, from just showers to like a whole house water solution. The K8, the way they explain it, it's not just filtering water, it's actually changing the water itself through this process called electrolysis.
Okay, now that sounds very high tech. What is electrolysis? What's it doing to my water?
So basically, electrolysis uses an electrical current to split water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen. And this process can change the pH of the water. It makes it more alkaline. And the ebook makes, some big claims about the benefits of drinking this alkaline water, talking about, better digestion, more energy, even anti-aging properties.
Anti-aging water.
Yeah.
Come on, is that real? Is there any science to back that up?
That is a great question, and that's where things get a little less clear. So there's more and more research coming out about alkaline water, but scientists are still, divided on what it can actually do. Some studies show it might help neutralize acid in our blood, which could be helpful for certain health conditions, but there's really not enough proof yet.
So it's not a miracle cure-all.
Probably not, but I think it's something worth learning more about. The ebook really focuses on anecdotal evidence, sharing stories from people who say they felt much better after they switched to Kangen water. But like with anything new in health, I think it's important to be a little skeptical and talk to your doctor before you make any big changes to your diet or how you live.
It sounds like we need more research on alkaline water. But I'm glad we're looking at it from both sides. It's easy to get caught up in all the hype, especially when something promises to be like a magic fix. But we need to think for ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Do our own research.
Exactly. That's what I appreciate about this deep dive. It makes us think critically about this stuff, ask questions, not just believe everything we read.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So as we keep going through this ebook, what stood out to you the most from these chapters? Anything that made you think differently about water?
It's funny. What really stood out to me was how they connect personal health with this idea of taking control of your well-being.
Okay. Yeah.
They present the Anespa filter and the Kangen machine as as tools to give you that control.
That's powerful, right? Especially now when we often feel like we can't control things like, pollution or what's in our food. The ebook is like, here's something you can control, your water.
Yeah. And they go even further. They introduce this freedom family, this group of Enagic distributors. And they make it seem like, this amazing support system full of people just like you, all wanting better health and financial freedom.
So it's more than just products. It's like they're selling a whole lifestyle.
Exactly.
It's smart. They're tapping into that human need to belong, be part of a community. But is it real? Or is it just more marketing?
It's hard to know unless you're actually in it. I mean, the ebook paints a rosy picture, lots of friendship, and everyone working together for wellness and financial independence. But in the end, it's up to each person to decide if that part speaks to them.
I see. It's like any group, right? You have to find where you fit, what feels right for you.
Yeah.
But even if the freedom family thing isn't your thing, the ebook does bring up some important stuff, things we all should think about, especially as you're settling into your new place.
Absolutely. They really make you think about the water you're using, not just for drinking, but for everything. Showers, cooking, even cleaning. Watering your plants. Have you thought about that? What kind of water you're using for all that?
Honestly, I hadn't. But after all this, I'm definitely more aware. It's like, we never really think about what's going on with our water.
That's what's so great about these deep dives, right, too? So make us question things, look deeper, and learn things that help us make smarter choices.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So as you unpack those boxes and make your new house a home, think about the water running through it. It could be the start of a healthier, more mindful life.
Yeah, for me, it was how they tied everything back to their product.
Okay.
They're saying if you're worried about water quality, the Anespa and the Kangen machine, those are the answers.
Makes sense. It's their ebook. Right.
Exactly. But it got me thinking, It's not just about the products themselves, is it? It's like they're selling peace of mind.
Peace of mind.
Like knowing your water is good, that's a big deal, especially with everything else we have to worry about.
Right. Yeah, it's like they're saying, hey, at least you can control this.
Exactly. And then they bring up this whole freedom family thing.
Oh, yeah, the community.
Right, all those Enagic distributors. And they really push this idea of, everyone supporting each other.
Working towards the same goals.
Better health, financial freedom, all that. It's a very appealing message.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't want to be part of something like that? But is it real? Or is it just, part of the sales pitch?
That's the question, isn't it? It's tough to know without being on the inside. The ebook makes it sound amazing, everyone's friendly and supportive. But I guess you'd have to see for yourself.
Yeah, true. It's like with anything, you have to find what fits, what feels right. But even putting the Freedom Family aside, I think this ebook raises some important points. Things we should all be thinking about, especially when you're moving into a new home, like a lot of our listeners are.
For sure. It really makes you consider, where your water comes from, how it gets to you.
Right.
And what might be in it that you can't even see.
It's like we've opened up this whole new world that was right there in front of us.
And that's what I love about these deep dives. They make us question our assumptions and look for knowledge that empowers us.
It's all about making informed choices.
Yeah.
Well said. So, to all our listeners out there, as you're unpacking and getting settled in, take a moment to think about the water in your new home.
Yeah.
It could be the first step to a healthier, more conscious way of life.
Subscribe now.